Sounds like we got a showdown taking place next week, but we're about to have one here in moments for the Heritage Cup Championship.
Weighing in at 206 pounds,
The Underboss, Channing Stacks Lorenzo.
Graves, to be fair to Stacks here, he wasn't prepared for Tony. He was prepared to face Noam Dar. How difficult do you think that would be for him to switch any sort of game?
Why do you feel the need to make excuses for Stacks Lorenzo? The bell hasn't even rung, Vic.
I'm just
Stacks
asking.
has been hoping, dreaming for this moment where he can take down the Don of NXT and move on with his life. Get out of the shadow of Tony D and become Stacks, the man who stands on his own 2 feet.
Can I correct you guys? It's Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Please, let's just give him that much respect tonight.
The
Can we
clock
do
has
that?
started.
Can you
Look,
do that?
I'll say this with
Can
all
you do
due
that?
respect. If
Yes.
he was as tough as Graves says he is, he wouldn't be out here with a goon squad standing in the
What are you talking
corner.
about?
One man is okay. I don't necessarily need 3 inside his corner
The
between
Goon
breaks.
Squad, that club you belong to online.
No, that's not starting right
It's
now.
called a corner. It's called a corner.
Corner,
That's what it's called.
one. Not 3-1.
Here's the deal. You know what I'm excited about, guys? We're going to have a clear-cut winner. One of these 2 men is going to leave here tonight with a tangible victory and a championship. The Heritage Cup Championship. They can stop squabbling about who's in charge, who calls the shots, because let's be honest, I think the Don of NXT is like being the mayor of your own bedroom, okay? You got to win matches, you got to get what book? What's this game about?
Championship
And
match.
neither of these guys have had either because they've been so worried about who's in charge of their little club.
Who put the battery in your back here in the last
I've
few
had a lot of
moments?
coffee. I've been a busy man the last 24 hours.
Noam Dar was set to defend the cup, but suffered an injury. Ava made the decision Saturday to have that championship vacated. And Booker was quite a matchup she made instead. These 2 fighting it out with just over 90 seconds here in round number
And can
1.
I say, guys, this is more than just about the cup, man. This is about going back to the neighborhood with bragging rights, man. That's what this is about.
Let's remember the rules of this 6 3-minute rounds. First 1 to 2 decisions. A disqualification ends the match. There is a rest period in between the rounds. Tony D'Angelo, very familiar with the rules as a former cup champion. Big belly-to-belly overhead suplex.
Look, I say to hell with the neighborhood. To borrow one of your lines, this should be about champagne wishes and caviar dreams. This should be about taking your game, your career to the next level instead of worrying about who gets to pick which restaurant.
I agree 100%. This is Channing Stacks Lorenzo coming out point.
So how good would it feel for Stacks to win a championship tonight over Tony D'Angelo? But more so, how good would it feel for D'Angelo to beat Channing Stacks Lorenzo, his former underboss? And Tony held that cup for nearly 100 days, but might have done more damage to himself than to Stacks just moments ago as we're inside the final 40 seconds here of round number 1. And it's starting to break down. And this is what we thought would happen between these 2. Nice quick takedown from Tony D'Angelo right on top. 20 seconds down to 18 now. I think if it turns into a slugfest, we start to favor Tony D'Angelo.
Come on, ref. Do your damn job.
Referee right there, and it's a submission hold locked on by Stacks. You heard the clap. 8 seconds right now. Down to 5. Both men still standing toe-to-toe center of the ring. And round number 1 comes to an end.
Get in there, ref.
Oh, that was both men. I'll even call it. You want me to not be biased? Both men continuing to slug it out. But the round rules are here to keep Tony and Stacks disciplined in this matchup. To keep them focused on the task at hand, becoming the next Heritage Cup.
That means no excuses, no BS. There's got to be a winner.
Hey, Graves, I'll ask you that. Would you agree that it's more difficult for Tony to keep his emotions in check than for Stacks? When I talk about a disqualification leads to an abrupt end.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a safe assumption. I mean, we've seen Tony D never afraid to throw hands, never afraid to get down and dirty. But I think D'Angelo needs to get past this one. If he leaves here with the Heritage Cup, forget about chanting Lorenzo. Move on with your life.
Tony feels betrayed, man. He's bigger than this cup, dog. He can't trust anybody.
They just
right
broke
now.
my monitor. Big spear, crushing the ribs. Down into the cover, and Tony D'Angelo picks up the first decision.
Tony D'Angelo has scored the first fall.
Talk about an immediate impact. The Don is in control. Is he walking out with the cup?